How to play an audio file. Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'd like to welcome y'all back to another Android Pre-K tutorial. This tutorial is going to be focused on how to play an audio file inside your Android application. This is going to show you basically how to set up your MP3 file or your WAV file. It should be some sort of compressed audio file, not uncompressed, raw media. But I'm going to show you how to set that up inside your application, on what folders you need to set up, and give you the basic code to get it started. This is not going to be the full soundboard application. We're going to get into that in a later tutorial. But for this one, we're just going to show you how to get a MP3 into your application, and then how to play that MP3, and give you the code that you need to get that working inside your application. So without further ado, let's get into it. First things first, what we need to do is you need to decide what audio file you want played inside your application. For your purposes at home, you could do whatever you want. You could use whatever MP3 file you want. But for the tutorial, I'm going to use or MP3 file that comes with the Android SDK, because I know everybody that has the Android SDK has this MP3 file, so we could all be on the same page. But you could use any one that you want. But I'm going to show you how to find this MP3 file real quick. First, what you need to do, well, I just had it, give me a second, is you need to look inside your computer for wherever you have the Android SDK installed, wherever that SDK folder is. Like mine, I have a separate development folder in my desktop. I call Android Dev, and just go to your SDK folder, and then go down to samples. Whatever version of the project you're developing for, I'm going for the Android 2.3.3, so that's Android API level 10. Or you go into any folder, it doesn't matter. We just want the file, and go to API demos, and then go to the resources folder. Inside the resources folder, you can see the raw folder. We're going to have to make one of these inside of our application. But for right now, we just want the file. We just want to find the file. And we find the file. And this is the test file that comes with Android SDKs. So we're going to use this one inside the application. But like I said before, you could use any one you want. Like I said just now, well, you can see that this MP3 file is inside of a folder called raw, inside of the resources folder. And we need to set up that same structure inside of our application. So what we need to do is come back to our application, come back to Eclipse. If you haven't already, open up your resources folder, and then what we need to do is we need to create a new folder. So how do we make a new folder? Just right click on the resources folder, and then go over to new, go to folder, and then we come down to folder name. And what's the name of the folder? We just saw it raw, so we just need to make a folder called raw. We don't have to change any other options inside of here. This is just basically showing you the layout of where you can add your folder to. But right now, once we click OK, you can see that now we have a raw folder inside of our resources folder. And this is gonna the structure of this is gonna come into play in a second. But now we just need to go back to the SDK resources raw folder, and you could just take this MP3 file or any MP3 file that you want and just drag and drop it inside the raw folder. It's going to copy. Yes, you want to copy the files into the project. And now you can see once we hit the arrow down inside the raw folder, we now have the test underscore CBR .mp3 file, and that's the mp3 file that we're going to use for the tutorial. Like I said, blah blah blah, use any one that you want, but for copyright purposes I have to use the one that comes with the open source software. So yeah, but I just want to use this one because I know everybody will have it, and once we're doing the code, it'll make sense. But now that we have this file inside of the raw folder, inside of the resources folder, now all we need to do is come over to the create, and this is the basic setup. This is not like the optimal way. Like, you're not going to publish this and then have your applications on the developer store. but you'll basically have something set up. So what we're going to do is we're going to add the code to start up a media player. This is real basic. What we need to do is call up an instance of it, and what we're going to do is we're going to say media player. Then we're going to give it a name, and for this we're just going to call it MP, and that's going to be the media player. Then we're going to say equals media player, and this is where we make the onCreate, and the onCreate is going to make the media player prepare or create this file. So what we're going to do next is you can see create, and you can see the hints come up, and we're going to scroll down all the way to the first one. As you can see, it gives it the context, and then it's going to give us the resource ID. So we're just going to click on this one, and now the context of this, you could use any one of these depending on what you're trying to do, but for right now all I'm going to put is this, and then because it's going to create, the media player is going to create this and the resource ID. All we need to do is just tell it what the resource ID is, and the resource ID is the name of this file. So we need to give it the path and the file name to that file. So what we're going to do is capital R dot. Now it's going to ask us where is the folder that we want, and we want it's a raw resource, and then we press another dot or period, and then it's going to search inside of the raw folder and tell you what you have. And since we only have this one file, the MP3 file, that comes up, and we're just going to take, and it brings up the name of the file and stuff. So you can see the test CBR and the test.cbr. You don't have to put the MP3 right here. It'll just automatically bring that up. And then right here now, since we're at the end of it, we just put a semicolon, enter down, and now what we need to do is tell the media player to start it. Like once it creates it, it brings up this resource. Now we need to tell the application to start it. So all we need to do is just do mp dot, and we need to give it some instructions. And what we're going to basically do is just tell it to start. You can see there's a bunch of commands that you can add to your media player, and we'll get into those in a later date, but for right now all you have to do is just press start and then close that out with a semicolon, and everything should be well and good. And we'll just save that. Don't need to add anything to your main XML file, because everything is just going to be basically out of the Java code. Just this bit of code is going to start like after the application creates and sets the content view to the main XML file. After that, all it's going to do is just create the media player, tell it to find this resource, and then it's going to start it. And that's basically it. As soon as the application opens, this file is going to start playing. That's all we set up. So you should already have a configuration running. I already have one, and I'm going to run mine. And you should already have your virtual device open. If you don't at this time, go ahead, start one up, pause the video, and then come back when you're ready. If you already have yours open, congratulations, you are smarter than the average bear.
Rocket, I'm taking a rocket. I'm packing my suitcase.
All right.
And look out, moon, yeah, a rocket into outer space. Goodbye, human.
All right. As you can see, we started the file because when the application was created, it set the content view to the main XML, and then it also started up the media player. As you can see inside the application, we don't have any controls because this is pretty much a dumb application. Like it just starts up the media player and plays the file. We don't have any control. And just like any other media player application, or just like the main music player application or video player, if we was to exit the application, the audio would still be playing. Let me see, I'll show you right now. Let me just unmute this. We'll just get out of this application. We'll start it up again. Let me see, it should still be on the Alright, well I guess that's going to be stubborn. Let's see. Yeah, we just start up the application again. Alright. Alright. Now you can see that the media player just started, just like before. That's the way we have it set up, that the application is just going to start playing the audio file. We don't have any controls over it right now, because that's all the application was set to do. And we didn't set it to give us any controls. And what I want to show you, just like any other music player, is when you exit the application, you go do something else, the music is going to keep playing until we reach the end of the file, and then it'll just stop. So you can see we're inside the calculator and the music player is still going, because that's the way it's set up, and you have to give it some more code in order for it to know what to do when you either close the application or when you want it to stop. Like, we're gonna show you how to do that in a later tutorial, but now you know how easy it is just to play an audio file inside your application. Just practice with this, change out the name, add different MP3s inside of here, and just all you have to do is just change the name of the code right here to whatever the name of the file is. And you don't have to add the .wave or .mp3 or whatever other audio file you decide to use. You just shouldn't use raw media and stuff like that. But hope this tutorial helped you. Make some applications, play with this. You could add this code inside of the earlier buttons tutorial and set that up to just play the audio file. Then you can also get the other code if you're so inclined on how to stop the file. In the next tutorial, I'll show you how to set it up inside of a button and everything and get that going. But for the most part, I hope this helped you. Follow us online, Twitter and Facebook, Android Pre-K. Subscribe to the channel and leave as much feedback as possible. That's the entire reason why I do these tutorials. It's just for the feedback. Whether you like the tutorial or you don't like the tutorial, or you have some ideas on the ways I could improve the tutorials, leave your feedback on either the YouTube channel inside the comments or on the Facebook page. I want to know what you're thinking. And also help spread the word. Post the video, share them with your Facebook friends, anybody else that's inclined to make Android applications and stuff like that. That way we could all spread the knowledge. All right, till the next tutorial. Hope you have fun. Bye.